Some people are under the impression that because this comes from a movie, that it's fake. Think again.
This is called a neuralizer. It's a gift from some friends from out of town. This red eye here will isolate the electronic impulses in your brains, and more specifically the ones for memory. Oh, that's good, fellas. Give me a splay burn around the perimeter with holes at 40, 60, and 80 meters from right here. Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
What in the hell is going on?
Excellent question. And the answer you're looking for lies right here.
Who are you? Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination.
And they got the memory wipe technology, and we got the different. Here's some different versions of it. Trip seat, which can change your memories around. Armor Lux and Gray. Here's a Gray weapon that could wipe memories. You want to comment, Johan? I think there might be another one on here. I probably should.
Yeah, we talked about the fourth type as well. The trip seat technology, we actually have more modernized versions of that now in the programs, at least when I was in. And we've used that ever since Montauk up through today, and past today, obviously in this other timeline. The Armor Lux was used in like mob and singular incident control situations where you could, blank out someone for the last hour or last 2 hours, however you wanted to do it. The Gray weapon, that is actually the same type of weapon that can not only do the EMP mental damage on the mind, but can also actually eradicate parts of the human body. And this is the same technology used against that gentleman who had been talking about Gulf, New Mexico, where he lost his fingers.
Strider.
Yes, he actually was hit by one of these weapons, and that's the actual weapon that did the discharge with that technology you're showing there.
So that's that picture is the real thing, you think?
Very close, yeah.
Was there a fourth version of this?
Yeah, there's the fourth item that they call the hammer, which was the reverse technology that you talked about earlier when the AGs gave this non-functioning technology back to the U.S. and Russia that you talked about.
Oh, yeah. I haven't gotten to that yet. So, and AGs are the Antarctic Germans.
Right. That quote-unquote non-functional technology is a device we call the hammer, and it can also be used to fractionalize the mind. It can be used to create alters. It can be used to wipe memory, all kinds of stuff.
All right. So we got a lot of some words here. Let's quickly go through this. Yeah, so we got 55 to 59. The Cabal and the Germans were ready to go into treaty negotiations, and they began to, the Cabal was actually given a base in Antarctica in Deep Freeze 1 and 2. So the beginning part of this treaty, the public version anyway, that everybody is known about, is that Antarctica will be off limits to the rest of the world. So nobody's allowed to go down there and build a hotel or get the minerals out of the ground. And so we're all told it's to protect the wildlife. But since when did humans care about protecting? Look at what they did to the Native Americans. So obviously, the public doesn't really question these things. But the real reason is because the Germans are down there and they don't want anyone else meddling around. So the classified version basically stated that 150,000 of these Germans would, the rest of the world would be given. Okay, so personnel would be given to Antarctica. About 150,000 personnel would be given to the Antarctic Germans to participate in these 5-year tours of duties off-world to build up the colonies. We have colonies of Mars, Ceres, and so on. So these people that were being brought in under this treaty, the Germans would be responsible for housing them, feeding them, clothing them, paying them, as well as giving them an option to become German citizens at the end of 5 years. So at the end of the 5-year period, they would be given the option. If they decided not to become a German citizens, and their memories would be wiped, and they'll be re-aged and time traveled back as if nothing happened. So again, they already had the memory wipe technology in '54, so they could do all that, and they had the time travel tech, and I think the re-aging tech was right around the same point too. So yeah, but things from the start didn't turn out as planned. Most of these people.
This is why it's important to do your research. When I talk about things like voice to skull and different types of technologies, there's a reason for it. Do your studies. Educate yourself. In the end days, you don't want to be caught with your oil lamp out. You don't want to be caught sleeping and lacking. Wake up.
What blast? The underground gas main, genius. You fellas need to exercise a lot more caution before discharging your firearms. I'll tell you that right now. Especially you. Have yourselves checked out with EMS on the other side of the hill before you leave.
There are many, many psyops at play right now. And with silent weapons for quiet warfare, it's important during these times to really be vigilant, because mind control is real. MK Ultra and psyops and all of those type of programs, they come from somewhere.